No, it's not supposed to do that.
Alright, so here we have World Cup Soccer 94. My issue is that I am not receiving notifications of when I score a goal. Now, this is the only switch that I'm aware of that's currently not working because everything else seems to function just fine. Whenever the ball enters the goal back here, I should be notified that I scored a goal, the goalie should stop spinning, the ball should stop spinning, and then the ball should eject out. The ball is going in, going down here, so therefore it only thinks that I've hit this shot to the right of the goal. I'm not actually getting scores for the goal down here. So the optic sensor is not working or not functioning or however you want to say it, but it's not calculating whenever I make that shot. With it being the only switch that is not working, it leads me to believe that the optics are no longer working. Now, if that is an electrical, whether it be a loose solder joint or something like that, we're about to find out. So let's lift this plate field up and see if we can figure out what the issue is. Now here's the fun part, guys, is that the sensor that I need to access is at the very bottom of the playfield, so it gives me limited ability to get to it. Okay, here we are with the playfield lifted up, and turns out the switch in question is going to be the most difficult to access. Of course, I would not have it any other way. Shut up. Yeah. This is what I want to do. I'm just doing observing right now, just trying to see if I can visually see any kind of a like bad solder joints or anything like that. As of right now, I'm not seeing anything, but what I will do is I'm going to go into switch mode and see if I have any switches activating abnormally. Alright, so we are now in switch mode. And I'm just going to do some WSS method here. That's wiggle some shit. And we're going to see if I have any switches that just activate with mere vibrations or moving of the wires. Alright, so my gold trough just activated. Alright, my gold trough is activating with just some minor touches on, I'm not sure if it's my transmitter or my receiver. So I'm going to remove the bracket that holds the transmitter and receiver and see what my solder joints look like for that switch. Looks like it's going to be just 4 Phillips head screws. Alright, so now I have turned the power off to the machine because I'm about to slide a screwdriver into all types of connections and I do not want to short anything. So let's remove this bracket and see what we can find. I usually tend to use my subwoofer speaker magnet to hold all my screws that I'm currently working on a project. That way I don't lose any. Okay, so as it turns out, that's not a bracket that just comes off. It's basically, it's a bracket that holds the screws for just the optic sensors by themselves. I have the one in question here. I mean, the soldering looks fine on it. Let's remove both. Alright, here we go. Transmitter and receiver both right here. So now that I've got them removed, I can take a gander at both, and this soldering job looks like a total whack. And the soldering job on this one is substantial. So although the soldering job is kind of crap, I mean, it should have a good connection. But while I got them out, I'm going to get a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to clean both of these sensors. And then we're going to go back into test mode and test the activity of these sensors. Alright. Got my Q-tip doused in rubbing alcohol. Gonna clean both of these optic sensors. They weren't that bad, but they're shiny now. Might as well clean everything around it just because they're here. Alright. Let's power back on. And let's see if we can test these optics out. Alright guys, we are back in switch mode. Power is on. So let's see if we can get these two to see each other. Sensor is testing just fine, guys. Let me make sure there's nothing. They're seeing each other head to head. Let me see, wiggling the wires does anything. I didn't think about it, but I'm going to clean this connector head just out of curiosity. Just to see if we have anything dirty in it as well, giving me a poor connection. Alright, everything seems to be testing just fine. Alright, power's back off. So let's get these optics mounted back up, and we're going to do some testing on them. I'm very glad that this thing isn't difficult to reach, or it'd be a pain in the ass to reinstall. Alright, so sensors are mounted back up. But now I want to make sure that my sensors are lined up in order for them to read correctly, because on stuff like this, the optic sensors only have a small window of precision for the beams to transmit and receive each other. Alright, power's back on, and now we're going to be doing some WSS method again to make sure that this goalie trough isn't activating by pure vibrations or anything. Alright, so wiggling stuff isn't triggering it. Now we just need to make sure that when we actually trigger it via a ball, that it works. So, let's do that now. Alright, so with the playfield lowered down, I should be able to reach the optic sensor area for this switch with my finger to see if it activates. Let me make... Alright, so the goalie itself is working. Goalie trough is working again. Alright.
And there it is, everyone. A quick repair on my World Cup Soccer 94 with a goalie optics sensor issue. Just dirty optics, which tends to be a common issue on every machine that has optics. And that is something that has to be dealt with here and there whenever they start to get a little flaky and not working all the way. Little Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol, get those things nice and cleaned up so that way the receiver is able to receive the transmitter. So that's something that you got to stay on top of. That's the first time I've had to do it for this machine. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment down below. Until next time, peace out.